good.
Okay. All right. Looks like it's 6:02. I'd like to call the meeting to order and we'll take attendance. So I see Roy. Are you present?
Yes, I am.
And Jacob.
Present.
Okay. And I'm here. Okay. So the last time we got together, we had a few questions. Oh, I guess we have to look for any written disclosure of pecuniary interest or conflict of interest. I don't think so. Roy, do you have any?
Sorry, no, I don't.
Yeah, it just means, do you have a vested interest in this, or you're just, it's tricky, but we have to ask it. Do you have anything to gain from this? Or maybe Cindy can clarify for you.
Yeah, it's just do you have any monetary interest in this, or would your family member be involved in this or anything like that? In all honesty, no. You don't have any conflict of interest.
Have to ask. That's all there is to that.
Thank you.
Okay. Anyways, so it doesn't look like we have any petitions or delegations. And then number 4, a revised plan developed for the public swimming access. And so we need the report from the recreation manager and the deputy fire chief. Oh, hi, Dean. There, glad you made it. Okay, so add Dean to the list.
Okay, so the report that Jacob put together is on the screen now.
Yeah.
Jacob, do you want to speak to your report?
Yeah, I can speak to the report. So basically, the information that I gathered was to show what bylaws regulated the burning and what sections would cover the burning if someone was to have a fire at the water access or the swimming hole. They would have to get permission from the township council to have that fire. And also, the next one is to show that people can't be depositing garbage there, that there's a bylaw around that. I've also attached, or Cindy's attached, the entire bylaws so that people can go through them just in case they didn't get context from the police that I put there. If there's any questions about it.
No, it was very thorough. Do you have any questions, Roy?
No, I'm good. Thank you.
Okay. All right. So I read through. I don't know if everybody read through the plans. If nobody has any questions, Dean, do you have any questions about the report?
No.
Okay. All right. So we'll go on to the plan. This was really well put together, by the way. I really, really liked it.
So if you don't mind, Madam Chairperson, I'll just quickly go through what changed in the plan. Is that okay with you?
Oh, sure.
Okay. So what I have on the screen right now, anything highlighted in green is essentially what I changed from the last version of the plan that we had put together. Namely, the information that Jacob had put together in terms of the outdoor burning and this disposal of garbage. Those were 2 questions that were brought up at the last ad hoc meeting. So those have been addressed and put into the plan here, as you can see right here. And then there were also some questions brought up by Ms. Van Schie in regards to whether we needed to pass a bylaw to be able to use the shore road allowance as a beach. So I contacted our planner, Mr. Wayne Simpson, and this section here is his response. Essentially, I just cut and paste the email response that he provided and put it in here. I also contacted our solicitor, and essentially our solicitor said the same thing. I mean, not in the same words or anything, but his opinion was very similar, let's say, to the planners, that essentially what it comes down to is a bylaw is not required to be able to, like, we don't have to close the shore road allowance to be able to use the area as a beach. So,
Well, thank
I'm
you.
not sure if
That
anyone
was
has any
really
questions in that regard.
Any questions, Roy?
Nope.
Okay.
Thank you for clarifying that.
Hey, yeah, it was good. There was a lot of valid questions that came up, and Cindy answered them all. Thank you very much. It was very good. Did you finish reading it, Dean?
Yeah. Were you reading
So it's
my
all
list
good then,
while I was
right?
reading it?
I was.
Sorry about that.
Okay. So this was really, actually, it answered all our questions. Now we just moving forward. Where do we go from here, Cindy?
Well, if there are any other questions that any member of the committee has, we can, again, address those. If there aren't any, then essentially the next step would be to bring this plan to council and see if council will approve it.
So basically what we...
Don't mind, I do have a question. It was something that was brought up previously in terms of the parking at the area, at the beach area. I just want clarification in terms of what kind of, like, are we going to designate a particular area for parking? Like we were talking that, you know, there's approximately 1 to 2 spots there. Are we going to actually designate an area for that and put signage up there so that it's clear to everyone, and then people aren't parking in the fire truck access area, or like just so that we're clear as to how many signs we need to purchase? I'm anticipating some questions from council, so I'm just do we need to clarify that?
What I would like to see, Cindy, would be, I don't have a problem with them parking there, but I would like to see it posted no parking or
unattended.
No leaving vehicles unattended. So
yeah, no
in
unattended
case
parking.
we do have a fire, they can use it. They can get their cars out of the way so they're around. So any vehicles left unattended will be towed at owner's cost or something like that. It definitely needs to be marked there. And once Bell moves that pole, there's a pole there, hydro pole, that's going to be moved, and that will allow probably you'll probably get like 4 to 5 cars, I would imagine, on that landing. But you know what? There really isn't an issue with people parking there unless they leave their vehicles unattended, you know. And I know that's why lots of people park on the road, because their cars can't make it back up when they get down in the sand down there. So I think they're going to use it regardless. So I think it's just a nice sign saying, please don't leave vehicle unattended, and see where that leads us.
Okay, so what do you mean by unattended? So if I'm having a swim in the river and a fire truck comes, I have to get out of the river, dry off, get into my car, move my car. Like,
yep.
Is that a concern?
Nope.
I'd get out soaking wet and move my car in a hurry.
Yeah, and you know what? If we're going up that way, we usually go by our water source first, so we'll know. They'll know. They'll see the fire trucks going by. Hopefully, they'll be smart enough to figure it out. But
because you're full first, right? You're full to go. Yeah. It's only from when you refill, right?
Usually, the way it goes is pumper goes first, so pumper go past there, and then PT2 will go by, and then PT1 will actually stop there, throw 2 guys out with a pump, a portable pump, and then they'll go to C. So when they come back, the pumps will already be set up, pumping. So they'll have time to move their cars. That's what I'm saying. They got probably 15 minutes. But as long as they don't what we don't want is, and this will happen, I think, because I've seen it happen lots in municipalities, is guys like to kayak and they'll park their trucks there and then take off upriver, or take down river. That's what we don't want. To me, that's unattended. Because I see them doing that down here at the Ottawa Bridge. They do that. They jump in, they park the vehicles there, and they take off in the springtime usually, when the water's high. So that to me, that's unattended, right? But maybe I'm not using the right word. I don't know.
No, that's what it means. I'm trying to get clarity so that what is unattended in your mind, what does that mean? Just so that if council has questions, we're prepared. That's all. Yeah.
Okay.
So would we buy an additional sign for the Patwa filling station too?
Well, that's not really part of this committee, but that is a question that has been raised. In my mind, it's a council decision, but in my mind, yes, if we're going to put it on one, we should put it on the other one as well. But like Dean says, I think that's going to be a concern because I have also seen many people who go kayaking down the river and leave their cars. So.
I don't know what right that gives us, but like in the city there, they'll just tow it. They'll just hook on and rip it out of there. Car gets damaged, it gets damaged, and this probably not responsible. And I could see that's what we would do. I'll just put a chain on and pull it out of there if I had to, But usually it's not that big of a deal unless there's 20 cars. It shouldn't be an issue, I don't think.
Okay.
Roy, do you have any suggestions or any additions?
No, I'm good. I kind of feel because I missed the last meeting, I'm playing catch up here. So I'm just kind of listening and taking it in.
Do you want me to give you a little synopsis?
I don't want to take away from the meeting. I'm okay.
Sorry, your audio is not very good. I can't really hear you.
Unless. Sorry. Yeah, Calvin Internet.
Yeah, I hear you. So no, it's okay. Basically, we had some concerns about, parking and garbage and fires. That was the number one. And then we didn't know, because now we have all the sand left there from when we had the flood a couple years ago, that it's kind of looks like a beach. So we wondered if we had to change anything. And Cindy's thorough work, we found out, well, we don't really have to. And then they were wondering if we really wanted to build on it or develop it. And most of us didn't want to. Do you feel any differently than that?
I agree with that. No, I agree with that.
Okay. Jacob, do you have anything additionally to add?
No, I don't have anything else to add. Thank you.
Okay. So it looks like everything's pretty, it seems too easy. You answered all our questions. And so where do we go from here? Just go to the meeting, I guess, then.
Well, if nobody has any other questions or concerns about anything that's written, I'm just scrolling through here. If somebody wants me to clarify something, please just let me know. We can bring the document to, it won't be at tomorrow night's council meeting. The agenda's already been set for that council meeting, but it can be brought to the meeting on the 27th of April. Essentially what we've got outlined here, just so that everybody is clear. So our objectives are to put appropriate signage up, like things like no fires, don't leave your car unattended, those types of things. no littering, you know, those types of signs, et cetera. We're going to educate the public. We're going to have a kind of some sort of campaign, whether it's through our flyer, on our website, through our Facebook and Twitter accounts, all those types of things. We could even send out a separate flyer so that it's clear to people that this is not an area, like it's not a place to have a bonfire or, you know, any of those types of things. We're going to put garbage cans in the area so that there is a waste disposal place for people to put their garbage so that it's not littered all over the place. Something just popped into my head and then it left, sorry.
Happens all the time.
Appropriate permits, if there are any permits that are required. In all honesty, if we're not developing anything, I don't think anything needs to be, any additional permits. There were permits that were required when we put the truck filling station, fire truck filling station in, but I don't think there's anything additional that's going to be required, but we will double check that. That's what came into my head. There was one other concern that was brought up at the last meeting in terms of regulating this to only people who live in Calvin. I did some research on that. I have to say I wouldn't call it exhaustive research, but I did do some. But that would be extremely difficult to regulate. I mean, we can, in our education, our communication, try to say stuff like that. But one, you have to be very careful how you say that so that people's nose don't get out of joint. And two, the only really way that I was able to find that we could regulate that is to have a staff member or someone, I guess we could have a volunteer or something, but essentially we'd have to check everybody's ID, anybody that went in there, and I just don't think that's an efficient use of funds or volunteer hours, you know, things like that's up to the committee, but based on the research, I would think that would be extremely difficult to regulate, you know, so that only people from Calvin are using the area.
Well, if I recall, I remember Roy said in his email that he didn't want that either. Like he didn't want us to just regulate it. We can't. And it's there, but everybody can use it fairly. Is that right, Joy? Or Roy, sorry?
Yes, that's correct.
Okay, so
does anyone else have any? I mean, like I said, it wasn't exhaustive. I just, based on the research I did do, I don't see any way that we can regulate that.
I think something like that too would cause a lot of additional headaches for the municipality with just conflicts, and I like you said, I think it'd be just too much of a headache, and it's not really a big issue right now, so let's just leave it alone, I would say.
okay.
Okay.
Well, it seems like we're all on board. Okay, so do we have to? All right, so I guess we're on to number 5 then. So we need to adopt the minutes of the committee.
Yes. So I'll just bring the resolution up here, or the motion, excuse me.
Okay. All right. Roy, do you want to move this?
Sure. I'd be honored to.
Okay. Okay, and Dean, would you like to move this one? Or second this one?
You're muted.
Okay,
Dean.
I see nodding your head.
Yeah, I got a compressor in here at Sparrow. Trying to do you a favor.
Okay.
Just quit.
Okay. That the minutes of the ad hoc public swimming access to the Emile Fall River Committee being held on March 1st, 2021 be hereby approved and will then be included in the next regular meeting of council for consideration of final approval. So I read the minutes. Did everybody get a chance to read the minutes, or you want to just pop them up so everybody can give a little? There, thank you. So I didn't see anything. So just basically, I was concerned that everything in the discussion came up. Does anybody have a problem with these minutes? Roy?
No, I'm good, thank you.
Okay. Dean?
No, I'm good.
Jacob?
No, I'm good with them.
Okay, thank you. Okay, so then we'll bring this to a vote. Okay, so I say yay. Yes. Jacob?
Yay.
Dean?
Yay.
John's not here. And Roy?
Yay.
Thank you. So this motion is carried. And then we go on to number 6. Oh, next step, sorry. B, next steps. Getting ahead of myself.
Oh, sorry, I just need to open the. So what would the committee like to do? Do you feel we're at a stage with the plan that it can be moved on, or do we want to wait until Mr. Richardson can join us? We'll have another meeting shortly. Those are just options.
I think his major concern is that we just keep him appraised of what was going on. I don't think we made any surprisingly big changes. We didn't. They just wanted to be made sure that we had all the permits, and if we don't do anything more, we don't have to. What do you think, Dean? Should we wait for John, or should we move forward?
I would like to see it move forward because I know right now this is the first
We're coming into swimming
span of
season.
budgeting, and this is definitely
Mhm.
something the council needs to put some money aside for. So I guess, are they reviewing the first copy of the budget tonight for me, or tomorrow?
No, that will be at the April 27th meeting.
Okay, so at least if we had it done tonight, so council could have something to look forward, so they could actually have some money put aside for the signing, because we're probably looking at, I don't know, $500-600 in signing. I don't know what they're worth, but just throwing a number out there.
Okay.
I know it's going to be a
Roy?
tight year with everything going on with COVID and everything, that council's going to want to keep a tight ring on everything. So I think kind of be ahead of that curve would be ideal. That's
I
just my
tend to
thoughts.
agree. Roy, do you agree? Should we move forward?
I don't know enough to make a good call on. Wasn't sure what any objections that he may have had, or any information that he wanted to see come to attrition through this. I feel comfortable with what my members are suggesting. I leave it up to you.
I feel comfortable moving forward. I think they were concerned whether we were going to make it into some grandiose thing, and we're not. We're just basically cleaning up what we have and fixing the mistakes that was there. Jacob, do you have any objection to move forward?
No, I like the idea of moving forward with it. It would allow council time to review the project plan and account for this in this year's budget so that it'll be ready for the community to enjoy.
I'm with you guys. Okay, so it looks like we're moving forward.
Even if they have other issues, there's nothing to say later on we couldn't address those issues. You know, we're just
True.
we're just moving forward with the signing and stuff, and if there's additional stuff later on that needs to be addressed, it can be addressed.
True.
Right? Like if nothing's. this is just one of those things. I personally feel that it's a timing thing. If we were to get it done in a couple of months, they're going to say, you know what, we don't have no money for it. So
It's true. No, you have a valid point there.
So,
Is that okay with the committee then? Just as simple as the committee would like to move forward with providing council with a copy of the plan for their approval? That
That looks good to me. Okay, so, oh, good. I love the thumbs up. That's great. Okay, so, Jacob, would you like to move this?
Yes, I'll move it.
And Roy, would you like to second this, please?
Yep.
Okay, so the committee would like to move forward with providing council with the copy of the plan for their approval. Sounds good to me. Okay, so we'll bring it to a vote. I say yes. Jacob
Yay.
and Dean
yeah,
and John's there and Roy. Yes, too. Got the
Yay.
thumbs up. Yay. Okay, good, good. Okay, so this motion is carried. All right, so moving forward, number 6 is old and new business. Oh, wait. Oh, so we'll bring it up. Sorry, I'm getting ahead of myself again.
no, you're correct. I'm getting ahead of myself.
Okay. All right, so number 6 is old and new business. There isn't any, and there's no closed session for number 7. And any business arising from closed session, no. And so 9, a notice of motion, there isn't any. And so number 10, adjournment. Okay. Dean, would you like to move this one?
sure.
And Roy, would you like to move this one? Second this one.
Yes, thank you. Yep.
Okay, that the next meeting of the ad hoc public swimming access to the Mille du Fall River Committee, if required, be scheduled. Though we should make it a couple weeks after the council meeting, I guess.
So it will be at the April 27th council meeting. So what about the 10th of May? Yeah, the 10th of May.
Sounds good to me. Everybody else have good for the 10th of May?
Yeah,
Sounds
I'm
good.
good.
Okay,
I'm good with the
sounds like
10th
we have a
of May.
consensus.
6 o'clock is
Okay,
okay?
so
Yeah,
6 is good?
Yes.
Okay, and that this meeting of the ad hoc public swimming access to the Mille du Fall River Committee be hereby adjourned at 6:30. And we'll bring this to a vote. So I say yes. Jacob,
Yay.
Dean,
yeah.
and Roy.
Yay.
Okay, so this motion is carried. Well, thank you. That was a very quick and Cindy did all our work. We just had to read it. Thank you very much. Thank you for coming out and have a good evening.